Hi, I'm Timothy Pope, and this is China Buzzwords from Shanghai Eye, where we explain the stories making waves in the business world. China Evergrande Group was handed a liquidation order by a Hong Kong court on Monday. The world's most indebted property developer, which has $240 billion in assets, but owes $300 billion worth, was judged unable to provide a concrete restructuring plan that would satisfy offshore bondholders. Liquidation essentially means that the company will be broken up and sold off to raise money to pay off creditors. It's generally the last option when a company is insolvent or can't pay its debts. The petition to have Evergrande liquidated was filed with the Hong Kong courts last June by a company called Topshine, which had invested in one of Evergrande's subsidiaries. Topshine said that Evergrande had promised to buy the shares back, but had never done so. But Evergrande has been working on a debt restructuring plan for much longer. It spent almost 2 years trying to come up with a plan to restructure just $23 billion worth of its debt. After several adjournments to allow the company time to formulate a plan, Justice Linda Chan said today, it would be a situation where the court says enough is enough. I consider it appropriate for the court to make a winding up order against the company, she said, and I so order. It's obviously bad news for Evergrande, which has argued that liquidation could hurt the company's operations, no surprises there, and possibly also spill over to affect its property management and electric vehicle subsidiaries. But it's hardly great news for Evergrande's creditors either, as there's no way that they can get all their money back. A report by Deloitte estimated that if the company was liquidated, creditors could expect a recovery rate of 3.4%. That means creditors can expect to lose almost 97% of their investments. So what happens now? Well, nobody really knows. Firstly, because Evergrande may appeal the ruling. Most of Evergrande's offshore assets have already been sold off by creditors, leaving the two Hong Kong-listed subsidiaries. But if liquidators can find buyers for Evergrande stakes in those companies, the money raised would only be a drop in the bucket. The really big question mark is over what will happen to Evergrande's assets and subsidiaries across the Chinese mainland. Evergrande is headquartered in Guangzhou, which doesn't mutually recognise liquidation orders with Hong Kong, meaning that it could take a long time even to get this process started. And falling property prices have already seriously dented the asset value of Evergrande and its subsidiaries all over the country. And there's another point to consider. Evergrande also has obligations to onshore creditors and to thousands of people who've bought homes in as yet unfinished property developments. The way the company, the Chinese regulators and the liquidators balance all those obligations will be closely watched, not just here on the Chinese mainland, but overseas as well. In the wake of the court ruling, Evergrande's CEO said it will ensure home building projects are delivered. That's something the Chinese government will doubtless also consider a top priority. If you've got a story or a topic you'd like us to cover or focus on, let us know in the comments below. We'll see you next time.